Do you want Republicans to still keep losing statewide elections? Do you trust corrupt Democrats like Secretary of State Jenna Griswold to run our primary election honestly? Do you want Democrats dumping millions of dollars into our primary elections to sway left-wing unaffiliated voters to pick our Republican nominees? The answer is clearly no, and there's only one way to fix the problem. We must opt out of the rigged open primary election system. But what's the alternative? What do we do instead? If we opt out of the rigged open primary system that crooked Democrats control, then our party would instead choose our nominees through the grassroots caucus and assembly process. As you probably guessed, neighbors from around your community would come together within their precincts, either at a church or school, and decide who's best to represent their voice. Once the caucus meeting starts, Republican voters within the precinct begin to talk to one another about the issues and candidates. From there, they decide from among themselves who best should represent them at the higher assemblies. The delegates they pick are then responsible for representing their neighbors and making the best decision on candidates who reflect their communities the most. During the assemblies, people from across districts or counties, and eventually the state, listen to the issues and consider the candidates and their platforms. After our candidates make their case, the delegates then vote to see which candidate would be the best nominee for our party. If we opt out, then the candidate with the most votes will win the party nomination and go on to serve as our party's standard bearer for the general election. And if we wanted to, we could even come up with new ideas to run our caucus and assembly process. We could make new rules to increase the number of delegates or ensure that our assemblies are open to any registered Republican. The choice is ours to make. Whether we keep the current caucus or assembly format in place or create new rules to increase participation, we simply implement the process and select our nominees ourselves. We'd have the freedom to chart a new course for our party if we opt out. So what are the benefits? First, we guarantee secure elections for our nomination races. No dishonest Democrats would be controlling our primaries. Second, no Democrat mega-donors would be able to buy primary elections with their corrupt dark money or out-of-state interests. Third, our Republican nominees would only be chosen by Republican voters. And there's even more our party would gain. Our nominees would get a jump start to campaign to general election voters before the Democrats would. We'd see new energy and life as our county parties would have an increase in participation from new Republican voters. And finally, there would be less negative campaigning or mudslinging that would reach the general election voting population. If we want to start winning again and turn Colorado around, then join us on opting out of the rigged open primary on Saturday, September 18th, 2021. With your help, we can turn the party around and gain election victory in 2022.